Hey guys, welcome back to Summers with Wade. I'm finally back with the ITZY project. First off, I want to apologize for how hectic everything has been the past few days. In case you missed my community post, here in Puerto Rico we're currently going through water rationing because of a drought, and I have also lost power several times. Because of that, production on videos has slowed a bit. Fortunately, we're here, alive, and ready to talk about ITZY once more. I mentioned it in the previous episode, but the ones that are left, including this one, are more like bonus episodes. I already explored the main idea the series is built around, and these episodes are much more of my opinion rather than any factual research. But what is this episode anyways? If you've been a subscriber for a while, you might have seen a video very similar to this one last year, but for twice. Essentially, I'm giving ITZY solo mini-albums. That means songs, artistic direction, album art, the whole nine. So if that interests you, keep on watching. Before we get started, I want to lay down some ground rules or warnings. This video is entirely my opinion and my vision for these solo albums. I spent quite a lot of time trying to curate songs I felt meshed well with each other and also made sense for the girls individually. However, like I mentioned in my community post, I wasn't fully satisfied with the albums I had curated at the time. For reference, I started thinking of song ideas back in September of last year, so I think it's safe to say a lot has changed, but these past few days, I've been able to really think about different songs and try to tighten up the track list so they're more cohesive with my vision. Speaking of which, each album has 4 new songs plus a bonus track. For Leah and Chaeryeong, their existing solos fit the concepts really well, so I wanted to include them. But because Ryujin's 2 solos, Look and Run Away, are so different from each other, I didn't want either one to take away a spot in her main tracklist from a song that could fit it better. So I decided to make all 3 albums 4 songs, plus a bonus track, with the bonus track being their Born to Be solos, since the motto ones became the title tracks. Some final tidbits before we start: unlike the Twice solos, these don't really have as creative names. Because Yeji and Yuna solos were named after the title track, for the sake of consistency, I did the same. Also, in my fantasy world, In My Pocket and Tangerine are a part of their original solo albums, making them each 5 songs in line with the ones I just made. I don't know if I explained that correctly. I also wanted to mention, these albums are purely vibes based. The lyrical content isn't always necessarily what I envisioned for the project, so think of this as a sort of mood sampler that allows you to see the vision I'm trying to curate. I'll try to explain the vision to the best of my abilities without just rambling about every song. But I think that about does it, so without further ado, let's start off with our first album. For Leah's album, I really wanted to go for that singer-songwriter vibe. I feel her 2 solos really follow that path, and in general, I think it suits her really well. Given what I said about the naming convention for these albums, this one is titled Asylum after her solo from Motto. This would also serve as the title track and centerpiece of the album, both literally and thematically. I personally love when albums have an intro or a song before the title track, so all 3 albums follow this structure. So let's jump into our first track, Hurt by New Jeans. I'm starting off the video with a touchy subject, I know. We need to focus. Personally, I really like the dreamy quality this song has. Maybe not necessarily the message, even though it could fit depending on how you look at it. I chose it mainly for the vibe. It feels like an opener to me, and given the style I want this album to emulate, I felt it was perfect. Up next, we have the title track, Asylum. I don't think this song needs any explanation because it's literally her song. If you want to hear my in-depth thoughts about it, I break it down in my motto video. Long story short, I really like the song. I also feel that it lends itself to be the heart of the album much more than Blossom would. The next song on the tracklist is Unreal by Liz. I think I mentioned it in my Revive Plus video, but this song feels like that acoustic singer-songwriter vibe. I don't know if that really makes sense as like a genre. Again, this is mostly for the instrumental, but I do like the idea of having a more upbeat love song on the project. It also fits the general theme of the album because you can also see it as a song dedicated to her fans, similar to Asylum. The final song is Ending Credits by Taeyeon. I've always enjoyed this song, and as the title suggests, it feels like a perfect closer. I like that the song is powerful without being too much, so I feel it lends itself to her voice beautifully. Like, could you imagine her lower register shining here? I think it'd be great. I haven't decided if I want the bonus tracks to be included in the hypothetical digital release or be physical album exclusive. Regardless, our last song is Blossom. I've mentioned a few times on the channel how much I love this song, and I don't think that'll ever change. I feel it also fits the general soundscape of the album while also supporting the overall message. Speaking of which, let's talk artistic direction. I want this to be a very introspective album about seeking safety or asylum in another person. This person could be a love interest or a stand-in for the fan/audience. If I were to make it a linear story, her could be the initial pain of losing herself or this person and needing to accept those feelings. Following that with Asylum serving as a statement of what she needs. She's telling this person she needs that reassurance and that safety. Unreal would then take place after she's found the person, or herself, once more. Lastly, ending credits could serve as an epilogue of sorts of what life is like now. She's able to look back at everything she went through and truly be happy about where she's at currently. The bonus track, Blossom, could then be viewed as the lesson she learned. She lost faith in herself and became anxious, but over time she was able to bloom once more. Given how dramatic this storyline is, I wanted the album cover to reflect that. I chose this photo of Leah because of how stripped back she looks. The black and white mixed with the tank top and her looking straight at the camera, for me, symbolize her stripping everything back to her most vulnerable. But having her arms behind her and her hair in her face show that she is hesitant or a little scared about opening up. As for the font, I wanted it to look almost like a signature. That way it feels like she's writing the story herself.
I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. If you give me your asylum, then I'll give you anything. Losing my secret melody, 잊을 수 없는 precious. 긴 여운 속에서 멍하니 난 스쳐진 난. Don't care about me. 날 젖어도 no, that's not for me.
Like I alluded to in the beginning, I was a bit conflicted when it came to her album's sound and direction. The original tracklist I had for her is very different than the one I have today. For Ryujin specifically, the album isn't as story-driven as Leah's or Chaeryeong's, so I ended up relying mostly on a vibe and the general throughline of darker sound with a more heavily processed vocal. We opened the album with Hypnosis by ITZY. This song's intro really sold me on it being a good opener for the album. Throughout the track, there's a sprinkling of glitches and distortion that I feel really amplify the vibe. I also really like that the song isn't too heavy on vocals, but is still, in my opinion, a very interesting listen. I feel it really sets the tone for the rest of the album. Once again, our title track and the center of the album is Look. Similarly to Leah's, I feel this one works as a title track much better than Runaway. Her whole I know I'm a baddie attitude is also the cherry on top. Changing up the vibe a little bit, we have No Escape by NCT Dream. Obviously, imagine it's her singing it, but similarly to Hypnosis, I really like the intro to the song. I feel this would also allow her to showcase both her rapping and vocals while contributing to the darker vibe. Additionally, I think this song could be a deceptively deep one on the album, helping diversify the topics covered. While the original covers anxiety, the song for this album could talk about a different topic or struggle she's faced. Speaking of struggles, the last song is Secret Diary by Lucemble. Following the trend of the previous two songs, I really like the different effects that are present throughout it. I also think the violin works as a bit of a mood lifter even if the bulk of the song drowns it out with trap elements. For this one, I feel the lyrics could work as a sort of callback or tie-in to the intro and the last song to try to give the project some level of cohesion. Maybe the Secret Diary can have her thoughts about the hypothetical struggle she's faced in the last song. Just like Leah's, to close out the album we have her other solo song, Runaway. For this one, I wasn't fully sold on it being in the album, but given the fact that I included both of the solos for Leah and Chaeryeong, I didn't want Ryujin to be the odd one out. I try to incorporate some of the same elements throughout the other songs so that it feels like an actual bonus track and not just something that was tacked on as an afterthought. Now, For artistic direction, I wanted this one to be more carefree and nightlife adjacent. Not necessarily songs you'd hear at the club traditionally, but songs you could definitely get down to. Because of that, I wanted the cover to have a lot of black. Ideally, the accent color wouldn't be this reddish orange. It'll make sense when you see Chaeryeong's, but I really liked how strong she looked in the photo, and I also really liked the smirk. I feel like it gives you a little bit of a tease that these are more fun songs. So color-wise, I was thinking more of like a brat green, or like fully lean into the highlighter and get like a yellow or an orange with the black accents. If you watch my TWICE solo albums video, you're probably screaming at the screen right now, cause both Hypnosis and Secret Diary were included in that one on Dahyun and Chae's albums respectively. This is for a few reasons. Like I mentioned, I started this file back in September after I posted the TWICE one. However, I was actually doing both at the same time for a little bit before pivoting to the mini-series I did with TWICE, so for a while, those songs were floating around for ITZY as well. Normally, I would have tried to pick different songs, but in all honesty, I forgot. But since these are hypothetical, I feel it's less bad because I also don't envision any of the albums featuring the songs as is. In Ryujin's case specifically, I'd boost the auto-tune on both of the tracks and maybe add a little bit of guitar to Secret Diary so that it can tie in with the bonus track. If I were to string the songs together, I'd say the album would be about escapism and looking inward. Hypnosis could be about being pulled into something. She's discovering a different side to herself and being drawn in by its allure. Then Look is about being confident and in control of herself, not really caring about anything else, just having fun. But once No Escape comes in, she's realized she has these flaws and she can't really run away from herself. Lastly, Secret Diary could be her coming to terms with everything, but ultimately, during Runaway, she chooses to escape anyways.
집중해 눈 감고 다음 순간 Watch it look 지가 봐 flashlight look 그저 봐 blacklight look Anxiety keeps coming from me 악몽 같은 내 현실은 In my space Just tell me now just Okay run away from me
Finally, we have Chaeryeong's. For her, I've been pretty set on what I wanted the album to sound like. I pictured it being jazzy and mature with a sultry edge. The album would open with Jazz Bar by Dreamcatcher. That's one of my favorite songs from the group, and the second I heard Chaeryeong solo, I thought of it. It's got a really nice groove to it that makes it such an easy listen. I also like that while it's jazzy, it's not super dark. In my opinion, it definitely leans more on the fun side, making it the perfect start to the album, but also the story that I want to tell. We're then hit with our title track, Undefined. Unlike Leah and Ryujin, I feel like mine could also work as the title track. And for most of this hypothetical album's life, it was. However, when I made the choice to include the motto solos, I felt Undefined worked as a better title to the album. I know an album doesn't have to be named after its main single every time, but since that's the naming convention JYP used for ITZY, I decided to swap title tracks. However, the only thing that really changed in the storyline was the placement of the songs, but I'll explain it better in the artistic direction section. That rhymed. Following our title track, we have Words Don't Come Easy by Mamamoo. This is also one of my favorite Mamamoo songs, and just like Jazz Bar, as soon as I heard Chaeryeong's first solo, this song and Rainy Season came to mind immediately. Even though lyrically I feel Rainy Season fits the storyline better, I feel the instrumental of Words Don't Come Easy is much more in line with the rest of the songs I curated. I like that it's fun and flirty, but also sexier and more mature than the intro song. For this one, I also feel a feature would be a great way to cover Moonbyul's lines. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but it probably would be. Now, technically closing out the album, we have Love Is Bitter by Girls' Generation. I personally love how theatrical this one feels. The constant horns throughout and their delivery really sold it for me. Plus, it helps that the lyrical content really fits the narrative I was going for with the album. Lastly, we have our bonus song, Mine. I said it with quotes because the story could end with Love is Bitter, but I feel that for it to have the impact I want, mine has to be there as a sort of epilogue. Now, what is this great story I keep talking about? I'm glad you asked. Now it's time for the artistic direction. For this album, I want it to be true to its title and be about an undefined relationship. Throughout it, Chaeryeong is navigating this situationship as they give her mixed signals. Our story would start in Jazz Bar, where they meet and that initial spark happens, followed by Undefined, where they're already together but they're not together, but they kind of are but also aren't, and Chaeryeong is feeling conflicted because she feels they're only wasting her time, however, she feels she can't leave. By the time Words Don't Come Easy starts, they're in a weird limbo. They've talked some things out and they're on better terms, but a lot is still left unsaid. Instead, they talk with their bodies, if you catch my drift. The words don't come easy because neither is willing to talk about their feelings or emotions. Closing the main arc of the story is Love is Bitter. By this point, she realized nothing's gonna change. She reminisces on the beginning stages of their relationship and how easy things were, but ultimately concludes that love is bitter. However, in my eyes, that's not the end of the story. In comes our bonus track, Mine. Here, it would be framed as a re-encounter where she would, in the end, recognize that even through the dysfunction, this person will always have all of her attention, closing the circle and beginning the cycle once again. What? I never said this was gonna be healthy. As for the cover, I chose this photo from her Mary Claire photo shoot because I really like the abundance of red. I wanted it to represent both passion and desire, but also urgency. She wants this person's love and attention, but she's also getting desperate, needing the relationship to be defined. I also really like that her hand is holding her face like she's really ruminating on the situation. I also chose it because she's covered up, both by the big dress, but also because she's crouching, almost like she's protecting her heart. She hasn't decided whether or not this person is worth opening up to and giving them her trust, regardless of how much she wants them. So which one of these was my favorite? How dare you ask me to pick between my children? But if I had to, it would look something like this. If we're talking which one I would personally listen to the most, Chaeryeong's takes the top spot easily. That album is basically a collection of everything I already know I love. Jazz, R&B, mature production, sultry vocals, and a little bit of theatricality. Leah would then come in second, but I actually think hers is the strongest conceptually because it has the clearest beginning, middle, and an epilogue. And then there's Ryujin. While hers is probably the one I'm least confident in as a finished album, I'm actually the most curious to hear this one in reality. Ryujin has such a unique combination of rap, vocals, charisma, and attitude that she could take a concept like this in a million different directions. Overall, I really enjoyed making this video and curating these albums for the girls and for you guys. This was very much so a passion project for me based on what I envisioned, so that's why this is classified as a bonus episode. But genuinely, it was really fun to think of ideas and concepts for both the albums but also the covers. I'm not the most skilled graphic designer, so please excuse my Canva, Procreate, and Lightroom art. This episode was honestly really inspiring for me and such a creative outlet the past few days, and hopefully that came across. Quick updates for those of you who care. Given everything happening on the island right now, I don't really know how closely I'll be able to stick to my summer upload schedule. This was supposed to be up on Friday and I'm recording this on Tuesday, so clearly we're already improvising. I do have what was supposed to be Monday and Wednesday's videos partially started, so if everything cooperates, I might be able to spam you guys this week, but if the power keeps going out, uploads may get pushed back. So basically, bear with me while Puerto Rico decides whether or not I get to charge my laptop. But regardless of when you watch those videos, thank you guys so very much for watching this one. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below, what did you think of the albums? Do you have a favorite? And also, what are your visions for their solo projects? Remember that I love you all so much, and I'll hopefully see you guys really soon. Please enjoy these final album samplers all together. Bye!
I'm not gonna be the one to get hurt. I'm afraid to feel this, 'cause typically the good hesitate when I got no reason to push you. It's never close enough. It's unreal. 유명한 산으로 연결된 우리 호흡이 멈춘 듯한 공기. 긴 여운 속에서 멍하니 난 완벽한 엔딩에 텅 빈 나만의 엔딩 credits. No, I'm not the same. No, you and I relate, for we're different. Like 사실 듣고 싶었던 그 말, you're beautiful. Look in my eyes, 짜릿하게 느껴진 너의 시선의 guide. I don't need your lies, 생길 수 없는 네 마음은 네게로 die. La 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 like it. 난 두렵고 미칠 것 같은 기분이야, got me. Look, cutting off flashlight, look. Better in spotlight, look. Oh, I'm a danger. 그저 봐 black light, look. Oh, I'm a danger, don't touch it. Bring it, show it, watch it.
Anxiety keeps coming for me. 엉망 같은 내 현실은 Bad nights 혼자 버텨왔던 기분 Always gay, never stop, there's escape.
난 궁금해, how should I 빼곡하게 채워 in my space. Just tell me, 채워 in my space. 빼곡하게 채워 in my. Okay, run away from me. 겁나면 내가. Get so close. Your body, 우리끼리 감으면 words don't compete. Because my love is always better. Love you, baby.
Somebody like you, somebody like me. I think we got something special.
Give you a chance to prove it now. Tell me 솔직히 더 정답은 없어, you know. Already know.